Hello everyone, welcome back to the Class 47 Peter YouTube channel, and today we're here to take a look at the all new Accurascale Class 55 Deltic. It's been a 4-year wait, but has it been worth it? Well, that's what we're going to find out in today's video. So in November 2018, Accurascale announced their first British ready-to-run locomotive, which was the Class 55 Deltic. I'm sure we can all agree that we've all been looking forward to seeing this model being released. The version I've gone for is 55022 Royal Scots Grey, and I chose this particular one because although it wasn't the first Deltic I ever saw, it was the first Deltic I got to see running. So here's some footage I filmed of 55022 Royal Scots Grey at Crewe in 2008. You can find this video on my YouTube channel, which I shall put one of those YouTube cards up on screen, so it can take you to that video if you guys want to watch it. And this was the first time I ever got to see a Deltic running, and that was quite a day. You can probably also tell from the video how far my quality has come since then as well with my videos, but then this was filmed 12-13 years ago now. The packaging that this model comes in is certainly sturdy and rather robust. It comes in the plastic packaging embedded in rather thick foam, and it is pretty good packaging, this. However, upon removing the model from the packaging, a few of the detail bits were loose in the box, so they had to be glued back on. I know that's not something we should have to do, but at the end of the day I'd rather glue these bits back on than send the model back. It wasn't too difficult to do. Also, one of the bogie chains had come loose as well, and so I had to reattach it with a little bit of super glue and a cocktail stick, which was quite fiddly to do, but it's now been sorted. But not something we should have to do either. But once I'd glued those detail parts back on, that's when I really could admire this model up close. And I have to say, the amount of detail that's gone into this model is just phenomenal. Everywhere you look on this model there's detail, it's out of this world. Accurascale really have poured out the stops with this one. Does this model look like a Class 55 Deltic, I hear you say? Absolutely. Accurascale have nailed the overall looks and proportions of the prototype, and they really have captured the face spot on. Even those iconic domino headboards, they've been captured superbly. You can see on the face of the loco we have warning signs, and we've got separately fitted handrails and lamp irons. The buffers are also sprung loaded, and they are plastic, and they are painted silver as well. There's a wealth of separately fitted detail parts on this model. There's very little moulded detail. Even details such as the cab window surrounds and the step treads on the bogie footsteps and the windscreen wipers, those details are actually all separately fitted etched detail parts. The step treads and the cab window surrounds didn't necessarily need to be separately fitted parts, but they are, and that just shows the amount of detail that Accurascale have put into the model. And you've also got the separately fitted horns there, and they've captured the look of those superbly. The livery application on this model is also fantastic. There's no blemishes anywhere or any imperfections. It's a crisp and even paint job. And even the colours are correct as well. They've got the shade of BR blue bang on. And even the printing, such as on the locomotive's running numbers, the BR000 logo and the nameplates, the printing on those is second to none. And the printing of the nameplates is done to such a high quality finish that you don't necessarily need to apply the etched nameplates that it gets applied with the model. But I shall be, because that's just my personal preference to fit them. There's even detail in areas where it wouldn't have necessarily mattered on the model if the detail wasn't there, but it's there. There's detail in the engine rooms, and on the power units you can just about make out in these photos Napier and Deltic stamped onto them. And that's a bit of detail that on the prototype I don't think I would have noticed it unless the loco was either stabled on a depot or sat at a platform. But when you can look at the detail when you're just admiring the model sat on the layout, it's fantastic to see. We have some nice vivid detail on the fuel tanks, and you can also see the dial on the fuel tank, and that's got printed detail on it. And just look at all that separately fitted detail there on the fuel tanks, and that's all been picked out and painted nicely, and I think that looks stunning. Just have a look at the detail on the roof. You've got all the roof grills there. You've also got roof grills with the fat roof fans underneath them, and the fans, they're made out of etched parts, and the grills are also etched as well, and they look stunning. And what I also love about this model are the embellishments. You've got the silver fuel tank, then you've got the roof, which is painted in I think what's supposed to be a light grey colour. You've also got white handrails and some lamp irons, and you've got the wheel rims as well, painted white. And these are embellishments that the locomotive did have when it pulled the Deltic Scotsman Farewell Tour in 1982, and it also has run with these embellishments at some point in preservation as well, and they really do make this model stand out as they did on the real thing, and I think that they look superb, and they really do set the model apart. Now this is a feature that I like very much. This roof section is removable, and it's held in place with a couple of little magnets, and it's removable so that you can fit a DCC decoder without having to take the body off, and I do really like that. That's a great feature. It'll be interesting to see if other future models carry over this feature as well. We cannot leave out the detail on the bogies. We've got the springs and the axle boxes, and the axle boxes have BR Timken cast onto them, and that's a stunning bit of detail to have. And again, it's little details like that that make a lot of difference. You've got the footsteps with the step treads, which are etched parts, and you've also got the bogie chains as well. A stunning bit of detail to have, and they are designed to be removed so that they just pull off, so you can remove the body easily. You also won't believe how heavy this model is. Honestly, it's unbelievably heavy. The amount of weight in this model, I've never seen or come across a model before that's this heavy. And you can see here the model sat on the scales, and you can see clearly on the reading just how heavy that this model is. We also get working directional head and tail lights, as you can see on the model. You also get interior and engine room lighting, but that only works on DCC. Also, this model is very, very smooth as well, straight out of the box. And something you get on both DC and DCC are the illuminated cab dials, and to see that on the model, that's just amazing. I also took it upon myself to fit all the buffer beam detail. I fitted all the vacuum and air pipes and the chain link couplings, and those are painted white, and they look stunning, and they weren't too difficult to fit either. And I've also fitted the etched metal nameplates and crests as well on the body sides, and they look fantastic. It does mean though that I have to handle the model with more care now that they're fitted, but they do look stunning, and they are very robust as well and very strong, because I have found in some cases with some Batman etched nameplates that they can bend easily, but not these ones. So having now covered the model in detail, having covered most of the detail that I feel should be covered on this model, we're now going to move on to the running session. So we'll get this model running on the layout with my rake of BR Blue and Grey Mark 1s, and I have had to wait a few days to do this because I've been waiting for Hunt couplings to arrive. So now that I've got them, we can now get on into the running session. So we've seen the Deltic hauling the BR Blue and Grey Mark 1s around the layout. There are 7 of those there, which this model can manage with them with ease. It can haul more as well. I don't need to do that because there are other videos elsewhere that show you just how much that these Deltics can pull. I don't need to do that because I don't buy my models to see what they can and can't do. I buy them so that I can enjoy them. So what's the verdict? Is this the ultimate Class 55 Deltic in double O gauge? Absolutely. This is a superb model that has a lot of detail and innovation in it, and the amount of detail and innovation that has gone into this, it's just absolutely stunning. Accurascale really have pulled out the stops with this one, and they really have set high standards. And even though that I did have a couple of little bits of detail that had to be glued back on again, which I don't think was their fault, I think that's something that happened in transit. I think this is a well-made product that's of high quality. And also, there's the price to consider. If this was made by Hornby or Batman, this would be easily in the £200 mark. But with all this detail and the innovation, such as the illuminated cab dials and the removable roof section, etc., that's all gone into this model is only £165. So it shows that you can produce models with all this detail and still price them for less. And Accurascale seem to be keeping their costs down. And I look forward to seeing all their other locomotive models with high anticipation if they're going to be as good as this Deltic is, which I'm sure they will be. Accurascale, I think you've got a Model of the Year award in safe hands with this model. So that's it then for my review on the Accurascale Class 55 Deltic. I know this review I've done is something a bit different from what I usually do, using audio recordings dubbed over photographs and footage that I already have of this model. I already did put out a showcase and running video of this model, but then I decided I'll just go and do a review on this instead. But instead of having to refilm it all, it made more sense to just record audio like I have done, which has meant going out and buying a microphone to do this, but I think it's turned out very well. And I shall be doing more reviews, I shall continue to do them. The next review I do shall be the same as this one, as I've done it with the recording, dubbed over photographs and footage, and in the future I might go back to my old style, just having it all recorded on camera, or I might stick to this way of doing it, I don't know. That's something for me to decide at a later date. But until then, thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed my review on the Accurascale Class 55 Deltic. If you like what you see, please do subscribe to the channel and also smash the like button. And feel free to check out all my other videos. But until then, take care. Ta-ra.